What is happening? Turbo Toys here. And boys, it's Tuesday. You know what that means. It's Turbo's Tag Team Tuesday! But boys, I just want to give a quick little shout out to Elite Legend Toys and Collectibles. He's been around here since day one-ish. He absolutely loves the Turbo's Tag Team Tuesday and he's definitely a part of the Turbo Squad. So, if you're into WWE, Marvel, DC, Masters of the Universe, G.I. Joe and everything else in between, he has these funny little role plays that will just crack you up. That's Elite Legend Toys and Collectibles. Go check him out, boys. But boys, just for today, can you dig it, sucker? I'm sorry, that was terrible. Because boys, we got representing WWE Mattel Elite Series 46. Booker T, Stevie Ray, the brothers! None other than Harlem Heat. But before we get into this one, boys, if you haven't already, like, comment and consider subscribing. Come and join the Turbo Squad so you'll never miss out on the next tag team videos that are coming up. Right, from 1993, pretty much to the end of WCW World Championship Wrestling, Harlem Heat was one of the company's most decorated tag teams with a record 10 WCW Tag Team Championships. They would go by a few different names such as the Ebony Experience, the Chain Gang, which was a terrible idea, but the gimmick was dropped and they eventually became Harlem Heat. A truly great tag team in the history of the sport. So as we take a look at the box, they have used the same image on both sides as well as the back of the box for both of the boys. But included on the back of the box is the other figures in the series as well as the boys' stats and career highlights. So as always, boys, please feel free to pause and read these at your own pleasure. Sucker! Right, so as we take a look at the boys outside the box and see what they come with, accessories-wise. And like all WWE Mattel Elites from around these series, you get the exclusive diorama display stand which completely would transform your display. You also get a black head wrap with the yellow and the red flames, as well as a pair of rounded framed sunglasses each. And then to finish off the accessories you have the red do-rag with the yellow flames coming out of it, and if you remember them from the WCW days, you will definitely remember them coming out to this with their entrance. And as for the boys, the only thing that separates these figures is the head scan and the torso choice. So take a look at the Booker T first, and I think this resemblance is spot on for this period in his career. With the shorter trim and the moustache, and the nose plaster complete with the general face structure is a top effort from the guys at Mattel. And I could be wrong, boys, but I feel that this is the only Booker T Elite to have a different torso from the rest of his released Elites. This is the only time we ain't seen him with that bigger Triple H style torso. And as we move on to Stevie Ray, another great resemblance, you can definitely tell this is Stevie Ray. I love the expression, the hair sculpt, the goatee, the nose plaster is all on point. Another really great effort from the boys at Mattel. It's funny, when you look at Stevie Ray, the guy was a complete unit of a man, so it was quite fitting to give him a massive torso. And off the top of my head, I'm trying to think who had this torso. I think Surfer Sting, had this style torso, as well as the Ron Simmons Hall of Champions. And then both these boys have exactly the same attire with that unique style kind of singlet top, I guess that's what you'd call that. It's got the yellow flames with a black outline as well as the Harlem Heat logo over the top of that. And both the boys are sporting a red gauntlet style wrist wrap with the yellow flames and the black outline. And then moving down, both the men have the red tights with a flame design on both the inner and the outer section of the tights. And they have tall black boots capped off with individual flame designs on both of their boots. Now both Booker T and Stevie Ray was brought into WCW by Sid Vicious, and they would go on to main event their first pay-per-view in the War Games match at Full Brawl. War Games! They even began being managed by Sister Sherry, better known as Sensational Sherry Martel, as well as Colonel Parker and Jacqueline. They even did some work in New Japan Pro Wrestling. But in WCW with the rise of the NWO, after the team lost the titles to Hall and Nash, it slowed down the team's opportunities for more championship gold. But as well, with Stevie Ray being sidelined by an injury, Booker T was able to capture the WCW television title after being forced to work singles matches, proving his worth in singles competition as well as tag team competition. And upon Stevie's return from injury, he would join up with the NWO to the disappointment of Booker T. But Book would convince Stevie to leave the NWO in mid-1999, where they would capture their 8th WCW Tag Team Championship before going on to win it 10 times overall. But by this time, WCW was in bad shape as a company. And by the end of '99, with the addition of Midnight to the group, with the brothers being booked in a match over Stevie not being happy with the new addition, that basically prompted the end of Harlem Heat as we know them. Stevie Ray would go on to form the Harlem Heat Incorporated, and with Ahmed Johnson, or Big T as he was known as, they would go on to wrestle under the tag team name Harlem Heat 2000. And Big T and Booker T would go on to feud over the letter T. What a great storyline that is. But then after a career versus title match against Scott Steiner, Stevie would be on the losing end of that match, putting an end to his career. And as for Booker T, he would go on to win the WCW World title and of course have a great career in WWE. So with an impressive amount of championships and accomplishments to look back on, due to the hard work and the fact that the team was WCW's most decorated team who basically carried the tag team division, they was recognised in the WWE Hall of Fame class of 2019, and deservedly so. So, would I recommend these two for your collection? I would say yes, absolutely. You cannot have a conversation about great tag team workers without including Harlem Heat in that conversation. Not many teams in the history of professional wrestling can boast a staggering amount of accomplishments that these two have produced. Now, do these figures hold up? I would say they do for now, being they're the only releases that we've got so far from Mattel of Harlem Heat. But with the rumoured new Stevie Ray figure coming out, it'd be interesting to see what attire they put them in, whether it be from the NWO or from another Harlem Heat. And they've had some really nice colourful attires, but I'd love to see them in that gold attire from the Great American Bash against the Steiners, about 1997 I think that was. And how have we not got a Rick and Scott Steiner yet? But boys, let me know your thoughts on what attires you would like to see Mattel make from Harlem Heat down the road. But that's going to do it for this one, sucker! So if you enjoyed the video, I'd appreciate it if you'd like, comment and subscribe. And if you can dig that, do a little spin-a-rooney and come follow me on Instagram at Turbo Toys. And until that next video, boys, I will see ya when I see ya.